Hello everyone, this is Narmina here. In this video I'm going to talk about 10 mistakes that I made in Sweden while looking for jobs. The number one mistake is that I postponed my life. It was like I put my life on hold and I was waiting for that magical day when I would get a job, and then I would start taking care of my life, my body, my hobbies. That's why I was neglecting my health, I was neglecting my friends. Of course, this was creating a vicious cycle as well, because when one aspect of your life is not going as you wish, you should not ruin other aspects of your life, like relationships or health. That's why, as soon as I put my life in order, I started going to the gym regularly, I started meeting up with my friends, and fixed other tiny things in my life, then I was mentally ready to accept a new opportunity as well. And that's when I got the job as well. I think when we become the person, or when we have the life where is a space for the new opportunity, that opportunity comes. So when we and our lives are ready to accept that opportunity, and we are a good match with the opportunity, then, only then, the opportunity will come to us. So if I was going through this journey again, I would prioritize my life, and then I would be able to focus on that one aspect of my life properly. Second mistake that I made was that I was writing long cover letters and actually was creating long CVs as well. That was a problem, because that could also indicate that there is everything in those documents that might not be even relevant for the job opportunity that I'm applying to. That's why this brings us to the mistake under this mistake. When we tailor our two major documents, cover letters and CVs, to the job opportunity, there's no way it is too long or all over the place. It is very targeted and tailored for the job opportunity that we're applying. Third mistake actually comes from the second one. It was I was not tailoring my CVs. Why is it important? When you have irrelevant job experience and skills or education background listed in your CV, that could make the CV chaotic and actually distract the person who is reviewing them. Another part here is that when we apply for jobs, there is usually a job description that we need to take keywords from and incorporate in our CV to make them well matching as well, assuming that we have those skills already or we are currently developing them. Fourth mistake that I made was I was waiting until the deadline. But the key here is to apply for the job as soon as possible, as soon as you see it. If you see a real match there, then that's something you need to prioritize and actually not wait until the deadline. Because sometimes the companies will hire a candidate directly if they like them, even before the deadline. Next mistake is that I wasn't approaching my application or recruitment process proactively. I was used to just sending my applications, even in my own country, and just waiting for them. Something would happen, but things might be different in other countries, like in Sweden. In Sweden, we might need to follow up on the application process, or remind the recruiter, or let the recruiter know that we have applied. So what I mean here is that after sending my application, I would send an email or a LinkedIn message to the recruiter to say, hey, I applied for this job. I'm very excited about it because some sentence here, why you're excited about it, and that you're ready to provide any additional information if needed. This will let you stand out. This will let them know that you're here, you're open to collaborate with them. Another aspect here is that after the interview or interviews, it's very important to send a thank you message, a thank you email to the people who you had the interview with, saying thank you for the opportunity, I loved our conversation, specifically what you mentioned about this and that. So you could include something specific there about the interview, and if they mentioned about something private, let's say they're going to travel to Greece soon, you could include a PS section or line at the end of the email saying that these are the places I think you should visit when you're in Greece. Something this small but powerful. Following up, being proactive. Waiting is not a solution here. Once you send the application, then you will connect with people around that opportunity, either at the company or someone working in the same area, so you increase your visibility here. Another mistake that I made is that I didn't reschedule the calls with the recruiters. So usually when you apply for jobs, a recruiter will call you and then they will have an initial conversation with you. But in the beginning, they will ask if this is the right time to talk with you. These calls are usually not scheduled, so you might get a random call from a random recruiter. That's why, if it is actually a good time to talk, then go ahead. But just because a recruiter is calling you and you're not in the right place to talk with someone, especially someone that you're trying to impress maybe, then it is totally okay to say, actually, thank you, I'm really excited that we can talk about this opportunity, but right now I'm in the middle of something, I don't know, you can say what it is, and then just, can we reschedule this call? And then they will offer some options, time frames that you can choose from, and then have that call when you're ready. You can actually prepare for the call. Maybe you will go back to the job description, which I think I recommend here, that after applying for a job, just save the job description, because they might disappear after the deadline, but then you might get a phone call after the deadline, so you need to know what it was about. So it is a good idea to save the job description so you can go through afterwards and prepare yourself for the phone call or for the interview. Another mistake that I made was that I didn't prepare for the common interview questions. I would say that all of the interviews include the same categories of questions and same questions almost. Of course, some industry specific questions might come up as well. But these questions might be, for example, tell me about yourself, tell me about your strengths and weaknesses, tell me how your former colleagues would describe you, etc. And I think there are 3 categories of interview questions. Some categories could include personality questions, industry-related questions, etc. If you're curious about the common interview questions, you can download it from the link below. I have compiled some commonly asked questions during the interviews in Sweden. So the key here is that you have a very well structured and prepared answers for the common questions at least. So this will actually boost your confidence as well. You know what to expect and you know how to answer these questions. Usually, for example, I recommend a STAR method to answer questions, especially when the question is experience related. For example, what happened and how it happened and everything. STAR stands for situation, task, action, and results. So what was the situation, what had to be done, what you did, and what was the result. So this will make your answers more structured and it won't be all over the place. Especially the first question, tell me about yourself, needs to be so smart, so structured, so targeted, because nobody is interested in the summary of our CVs or cover letters. It's more about what you've done and how you see the relationship, collaboration between you two based on that experience, or what you can offer. Tell me about yourself. The answer to that question should include the aspiration, the ambition as well. 7th mistake was that I didn't invest enough in Swedish. I could have learned or started learning language earlier, which I did, but I wasn't prioritizing it. But because of this mistake, I missed a very good opportunity where speaking Swedish was simply necessary. It's a very good tool as well to integrate in the society as well. I feel like I'm a part of this country. After I started communicating and having small talks in Swedish, it feels better for myself most of all. 9th mistake, probably one of the most important ones, is that I underestimated internships. I was like, this is my ideal job opportunity, this is where I'm going, and there's nothing else I'm considering An internship, that's something I'm not considering at all. But the thing is, after a very long process of looking for jobs, especially not knowing how this interview, recruitment, everything works, you might struggle with self-esteem. You might actually start believing, which happened in my case, that after all, maybe I'm not even capable to do something, so maybe I don't even deserve to have a job. So what internship will do, besides everything, all the other benefits, is that you will regain this self-esteem. Oh, look at me, I'm doing something. I got this task in my internship and I'm doing it. I'm a doer. It is happening. I'm not a failure. I can accomplish things. So this will boost your self-confidence. This will remind you that you are a doer. You are capable of doing things. It was just a frustrating process that made you believe otherwise. And besides that, you will meet different people, you will expand your network, you will see how others work. It's a very good step to do before you get your dream job. And the last one, which I think is the most important thing to consider, or the biggest mistake that I made, is that I underestimated networking. Again, very traditional mindset. You know, I'm applying for a job and I'm just waiting. I'm not reaching out to people. I'm not sending them a thank you email or letting them know, hey, I'm here, I applied, I'm interested, I'm excited about this opportunity. I was underestimating connecting with people in the same way, you know, connecting with people genuinely, asking them, you know, what do you like about your work? Tell me about it. Tell me about your journey, you know, connecting with people and surrounding yourself with people that can actually be bridges to the opportunities. In Sweden especially, it is very important that you can establish this trust as well in the employers about yourself through showing mutual connections or people that might be your reference. So I would highly encourage you to go out, meet people, learn about them, see how they can bring new information to you, new opportunities to you, because people that we normally have around us are called our strong ties because we are tied to them very strongly. So these are our family members or our friends, but people that we barely know, they're just acquaintances. They are our weak ties because we are not very well connected, or you know, the tie is not that strong. They're weak ties. But the thing is, the key part, that actually those weak ties are stronger than our strong ties, because weak ties bring new opportunities. Friends around us, family members around us, they possess the same information. They know about the same opportunities as we do. People that we barely know, so our weak ties, they're actually stronger in these kind of situations because they know something that we don't know, that nobody around us knows. So that's why it's important to open ourselves to new connections, networking opportunities, to learn new things. So these were the 10 mistakes that I made. If you have gone through the same process as me, what mistakes you have made or what lessons you've learned, how would you approach your recruitment process differently, and share with us. It's important to learn from each other. If you would like to learn more about each of these mistakes, let me know about that as well, and I can create separate videos about that as well. This is my first video, so let's see how it goes. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope this video was helpful, and let's stay in touch. Bye bye!